And we're back here in Tuesday's Mean. Bruce Cooper joins us wearing his D-back stuff today.
Yeah, the one team that's out of season.
I'm trying to forget Game 3 of the World Series last night because the Dodgers won, and so the Diamondbacks gear helped me do just that.
Now, Coop, I gotta ask you a serious question. Did you make it through all 18 innings?
You know what? I'll be honest. I'm a bigger NFL and NBA fan. I have 2 screens in my man cave. So one was on the Chiefs game with the Commanders, the other the Suns and the Jazz. And only after those games were over did I go to the World Series, and it was in the 8th inning when I clicked over 5-5.
Yeah. I know.
And did you stay up through the 18th?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
you did?
Absolutely.
Got nothing else going on. He's
Absolutely,
retired.
I did.
I know somebody that said they fell asleep like in the 4th or 5th inning of the World Series, woke up and then watched the rest of it, like 11th, 12th inning on afterwards.
Yeah, I'm a sports junkie. I'm gonna sit there and watch them. But yeah,
But you watched that Chiefs Commanders game, huh?
I did. I thought maybe something was gonna really happen. I had a 7-7 game at halftime.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. But Patrick Mahomes did his thing in that third quarter, so that was pretty much that. So I really started concentrating a lot of my attention on the Suns game, and they're beginning to tee me off.
You two are bigger Suns fans than I am. I grew up a Lakers fan, and I always hated the Suns growing up and stuff to that effect. But obviously I've been here a long time and kind of rooted for them over the years. But you guys go farther back than I do on this. The lack of defense is just disappointing me right now.
Well, I'll tell you, I think what fuels into that is Jordan Ott's proclivity to play people like Nigel Hayes Davis and Royce O'Neal.
But isn't that him trying to find his lineup?
Well, I look, he's this. Okay, look.
That way you look scrunched over there. You look uncomfortable. We don't need you looking uncomfortable with the sun stock here.
Look, the thing that excited me during the offseason was the Suns' drafting of Kaman Malawak, Rasheer Fleming, and even Kobe Brea. But I expected Malawak and Fleming to actually play. Fleming 6'8" with a 7'5" reach. Malawak is 7'2" with a 7'6" reach. Look, they offer something that we haven't had during the Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal era. That's athleticism, rim protection, and length. If you're not going to use that to your advantage, and see, what really teed me off last night, for a majority of the game, the Jazz are playing, there's 2 7-footers, Kessler and Markkanen together. And Phoenix counters with either Oso at 6'11" or with Williams or Richard. And meantime, you have people like Nigel Hayes or Ryan Dunn or Royce O'Neal guarding 7-foot Markkanen. And so if you look at the advantage that the Jazz had on the offensive glass, I think they had 28 offensive rebounds.
It was ridiculous.
Come on, man. And then the Suns were down by 20 points, and it wasn't until Oso Ighodaro and either Nick Richards or Mark Williams were in the lineup at the same time. He played them together, collective. That's how the Suns cut into that lead, got back into the game. But in the fourth quarter, he goes back to Royce O'Neal. Look, Royce O'Neal is effective when he's knocking down his three-pointer. And look, I think that he gets way too much credit for being a defensive savant, but I will give him credit on that late in the game. Devin Booker had a chance to make a second free throw, missed it.
Are you talking about
O'Neal got it, shot it, missed it, and it was tipped in by Mark Williams.
And that was the one that overtime. That was the one in the fourth.
Right.
But then, I just don't understand. Like, Markkanen's having the game of his career. Ends up with 51 points. And it's like they didn't even try to stop him.
Look, it's a total mismatch. I mean, Ryan Dunn's, 6'7", O'Neal 6'6". I mean, this dude's 7 foot.
Right.
And he's smart enough to use his size and go inside. And so what the Jazz were doing, Kessler's 7 foot. Mark Williams is 7 foot. So what they did, they bring Kessler out to the 3-point line. That brings Williams away, and they put Markkanen down low inside. He's got the advantage.
Exactly.
And
Well,
so-
and the thing about Martin is he can also go out 15, 18 feet.
Oh, sure,
and,
sure he
and hit a
can.
jump shot.
But it's Jordan Ott. I thought him coming from Cleveland, where they played Mobley and why am I losing the others? They played 2 7-footers together collectively.
Constantly.
Yeah, and so I thought maybe that's what we were looking at. I was kind of excited. He's not doing that. The Suns are 1-3, and there's a common denominator, a common theme in all 4 games. The Suns fall down by 20 or more, and they're down by that in the first half at halftime, and then they have to spend the second half trying to rally. Well, that worked opening night, but the last 3 games it just hasn't worked. I mean, you're putting yourself in too deep a hole. So if I have these 7-footers who and I don't know if you said you didn't watch the game, Nick.
I saw the end of it. I didn't see the beginning.
During their
part.
comeback, Nick Richards had like 3 blocked shots. Yes. I mean, he's protecting the rim. And so you can do that when you're playing those 2 bigs together because someone is home in the paint to protect. And so, but this is what's really alarming to me anyway, is that on the perimeter, there are so many dribble drives. They're getting to the basket too easily. And so they're
You mean the Jazz?
Yeah, well, all
anybody.
4 games.
Anybody they're playing
They're
comes
getting
in,
to
yeah,
the
the other
rim
team, yeah.
way too easily.
Yeah.
And so their points in the paint and their fouls are just off the chart.
Mm-hmm.
The opposition is shooting like 40, 50 free throws a game. They're getting like 60, 70 points in the paint per game. Dude, at some point, Jordan Ott, man, you've got to rally the troops, man. You got to change what your game plan.
Well, here's
52,
their 4.
52 points in the paint for the Jazz last
Here's
night.
the 4
How many?
scores.
52.
They won their opener, 116 points they gave up, and they scored 120. Last 3 games, 129, 133, 138. Now, the 138 was in overtime.
Yeah.
But still,
That was 124, 124 at the end of regulation. So I get you.
that's a lot of points.
It is, and I'm telling you, they are getting to the paint way too. How many free throws are they attempting? Because the free throws are just
Jazz had 36 last night.
36 attempted.
Attempted. They were 34 of 36.
Well, and the Suns attempted 31.
Yeah. But no, they're getting the line longer. But that's what I wanted to bring up with you here is I think it's the starting lineup that he's throwing out there that's putting
Yeah.
up behind early.
Absolutely.
And I get it. You don't have Green right now. And I don't know how that's going to change, but the starting lineup he's putting out there is getting dominated early. It's almost like they don't prepare, which is why I did not tune in, and I was watching the football game at that time, was because okay, Suns are just going to go down by a lot at the beginning, and I'll watch it later when they come back and do all that stuff. And we're 4 games into the season, and I already feel that way.
Yeah. See,
The one thing I got to bring up real quick before it slips my mind, I gave up on this BS arm reach or wingspan. You know what I gave up on it, Coop? When they told me Oliver Miller was going to be an All-NBA guy, got he's 6'7", but he got a 9-foot wingspan.
Don't disparage.
They went to the
those
finals,
lost to us.
dude.
Yeah, I know.
Because of Oliver Miller?
well, Oliver had a couple of game saving games. Look, Oliver was 6'9" with like that 7-foot reach, but look. He served a purpose, but he didn't really have the height that you're looking for to go with that. But Malawak, Richards, and Williams, they all have the size. They're 7 foot with this reach. And then you got a 6'8" Rasheer Fleming. Look, I'm looking for the Suns to showcase this athleticism. Look, sometimes when you get beat, you have the reach or the length to compensate. And so to Steve's point about the Suns starting lineup, look, I don't like starting Ryan Dunn and Brooks together.
Okay.
I mean, they're not quite the same dude because Brooks is a better shooter. But I mean,
last night Brooks didn't play, obviously. So,
well, yeah, he didn't play last night. But I that along with, and I know that starting Grayson Allen at the point is only temporary.
Yeah.
But it's just an odd lineup. I'd rather start Colin Gillespie if over Grayson Allen, and let them come off the bench. But I want to play those young kids now. I mean, I don't look at this as a championship season for the Suns. I mean, they may be lucky to make the playoffs. I have them in the play-in tournament, but give the kids, don't let this be a lost season. Give the kids that development time right now. I mean, look, I can't wait till the trading deadline gets here because I'm ready to ship off Royce O'Neal. And if anyone wants Nigel Davis-Hayes, I'll give them him.
That's what I'm getting. Nigel Hayes-Davis plays 3 minutes. You mean to tell me Fleming or Malowich can get in there for those 3 or 5 minutes?
Absolutely. I mean,
what are we doing now?
Well, what I noticed is that Nigel Davis-Hayes, for the first time last night, losing minutes to Isaiah Livers.
Yes.
And so how many minutes did Livers play?
21.
Okay, so there you have it.
I was shocked that he was in there as much when I was watching. I was like, why is he still in there?
Yeah, I tell you what, he's certainly more active than what Nigel Davis-Hayes is.
But I mean, like you said that, like Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn in the starting line. Oso, for some reason, I like Oso a lot, but he's struggling at the start of games. As the starter from that side, and just mix it up a little bit. It's obviously not working. I always say when things go sideways, change something. Change something.
Well, you traded 2 first-round picks for Mark Williams. Clearly, yes. I mean, I think last night, what was his number? I think he had 22
31 minutes.
25 points.
25 points
and 11.
11 rebounds.
All right.
Yeah.
So
plus 13.
He's your starting center. Now, granted, I understand that he did not play any of the preseasons, and so you're trying to build him up to that point. All right, but that time has come now. I mean, the Suns are back home after a 3-game roadie. They have Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday. I fully expect to see Mark Williams in that starting lineup, and I don't want to see Brooks and Dunn together. I don't even mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Oso as a 4. You start him as a 4, and Ryan Dunn can come up and back him up, or he could back up Brooks, and Fleming is that next guy.
I think they're playing Williams off the bench because he's on those minutes, right? So they can play deeper into the game, and that's why they're not starting him. Or that's what they say. So.
Nick Richards is a look. Then Ryan Dunn needs to sit, and you need to go with Nick Richards and Oso at the 4.
Yeah.
Give us some more size.
Yes.
Give us better rim protection. Give us better rebounding. Because it's just not working right now. And I'll be glad when Jalen Green definitely gets back because he'll certainly be able to get downhill for
We're putting a lot of pressure on Jalen Green, man. We are. We're like, it'll be better when he comes back.
I've said this before, and I mean it. Have you guys you seen Ja Morant with the Grizzlies play? Mm-hmm. The guy is terrific at beating his man off the middle and getting to the paint. That's Jalen Green. He may not be as electrifying and as dynamic.
It's the end of the game where Green struggles.
But he can do those same things. He can put pressure on the other defense, opposing defense, because he can get to the paint just off of his pure skill set, his athleticism, his burst, his quickness, his explosiveness.
I need something to make me not give up on the Suns, Coop.
Play those young kids.
Yeah, I mean,
change that lineup.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I love him to death. He reminds me of a guy named Dale Hellestrae stayed in the league for 17 years. Colin Gillespie.
Oh, I like Colin.
Yeah, so do I. But he can't be your third highest scorer in a game.
Why not? I think he's one of the best shooters on that team.
Yes. And he can't be your third best shooter on the team.
Well, let's put it to you like this. We had a point guard named Stevie Nash that wasn't too bad of a shooter either, right?
We're bringing in Stevie
I'm not trying to compare Colin to Stevie because that would be that's blasphemy. But I'm telling you, it's the same argument. I mean, he's one of your top shooters. He was your point guard.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I know is when Gillespie goes, he played 32 minutes less, but when he's in there, there's an energy change on that team. Like we saw last year.
He's a scrappy player. And then and the Suns started making their run. I think he hit 3 straight threes late in the fourth quarter to help get the Suns close enough to tie that game.
Yeah, and it's just I just sit here and I watch the lineups, the starting lineups, and it just, especially even in that first game, they were able to come back and win it.
Sure, they were down
you know?
20.
And I figured they'd get blown out by the Clippers because the Clippers' first game was so horrendous, and I'm like, they have some pride. They're going to play well in their second game. They're not anywhere close to being at a level with Denver. I was like, that's going to be a disaster.
Hey, look,
but the
think-
Jazz are terrible,
Yeah.
and they to play that way against the Jazz was an alarming thing.
Well, heck, the Jazz beat the Clippers. I do know that. But
That was game one. That was that one
yeah.
game that.
Oh,
was bad,
I'll say this: in the West, I think the three best teams, in no particular order, are the Rockets, the Nuggets, and the OKC Thunder.
You're forgetting. Oh no, you're sleeping on the Spurs. Don't sleep on the Spurs.
But look, the Spurs. Wemby is showing out right now, no doubt. They picked up De'Aaron Fox late
Yes.
last season. We all saw what Stephen Castle can do as a rookie. But I still think that there's some gelling to do there. I would put Minnesota ahead of San Antonio.
Really?
I would.
Yeah, I can't believe you have the Rockets. Rockets to me are the
Rockets.
old, slow. That's going to be their problem. They
they-
went from fun, energetic last year, traded all those guys out to get Kevin Durant, and now they've turned into an older, slower version.
They
of it.
really only traded two people, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and they traded a first round pick that wasn't on their roster anyway. So they really returned that back intact. And so what they've done now, and we talked about this on the show before, is that the Rockets can cover. They have the personnel to cover Kevin's deficiency, so you can just make him that scorer. You can make him that dude. And so I like their roster. I know they suffered a big injury at the point guard position. Fred VanVleet
Yeah, VanVleet,
is
yeah.
done for the year. I mean that's devastating. But I like their roster. I think the Rockets and the Denver Nuggets had the best offseason in terms of acquisition and adding to their roster.
The thing that worries me about the Nuggets isn't their team; it's their new coaching and their new front office that they brought in. That's untested, right? In those, when we get to the playoffs, things to that effect. I think Rockets will be there at the end. I just think that they're a step down from Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't expect the Spurs to continue what they're doing right now. But with Wemby and De'Aaron, they're unguardable. They're going to win a lot of games. this
Yeah,
year,
I agree with
those
Well, how
guys
many
if they
games
stay
does
healthy.
Wemby play?
That's the
You know,
question.
does he play 50? Does he play 60? Does he play 70?
Well, if he plays 70,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Look
trouble.
out.
But I mean, even the Warriors, and now it's early in the season, Warriors have the oldest starting lineup, and it isn't even close.
The Warriors.
The Warriors,
Yeah, yeah.
and they started off good, but can they sustain that
No,
going into the
no,
season goes
they,
on?
They can't. I mean, look, as great a shooter as Steph Curry is, I think a lot of his, dagger play. I mean, you expected it just about every night. The consistency of his daggers, I think, is beginning to wane, and I think his age is showing that. I mean, he's not nearly as lethal on a consistent basis as he has been. And so, with that being said, the Warriors are certainly vulnerable. I mean,
Well, they're gonna end up being a 7, an 8, 9,
Sure.
10, playing the
Absolutely.
play-in game at the end
The,
of the
the,
season.
the thing
I think.
about your boy in Golden State is the fact that he still looks young. He's still got a baby face.
he does.
But those tires have had a lot of miles put on them.
They've had a lot of, and I'm telling you, and when his shot's falling, when he's got it going on, I mean, he's something else. He's something special to watch. I mean, Jimmy Butler certainly brings an attitude along with Draymond Green to that roster, but outside of Jonathan Kuminga and maybe Pozinski, they lack a lot of, I guess what I'm looking for is offensive potential or offensive firepower.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
So you said the 3 teams you thought were the best. Have you any surprises in the West on the NBA side so far? Who would be? I mean, to me, everybody's saying the Spurs, but to me, I thought the Spurs were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be 4-0 and dominating good like they are. But I did say watch out for the Spurs this year to make a run as the season goes on. So that's not a surprise to me. I know it is to other people.
Well,
but other than that, I mean, is there a surprise in the West so far?
Well,
early?
the surprise to me is
Good or bad, by the way.
is the Dallas Mavericks on the bad side.
Yeah.
Adding Cooper Flagg to Anthony Davis. And you know, because I know there's a lot of flack about them that trade that sent Luka to L.A. But I just thought, if you look at the Maverick size, Gafford, Lively, and you have Cooper Flagg too. I mean that's a very big front line there, and so now you look in your backcourt, and look, I know that Klay Thompson isn't what he used to be. I mean, the injuries have certainly caught up with him, but Dallas was a loaded team. They were in the finals 2 years ago. They have basically the same roster, save Luka Doncic, but they have added more defense in a guy like Anthony Davis, and that's what they were looking for. They were looking for more defense because they said Luka didn't want to play that, and so it was really. I think Luka took that to heart. Did you see this dude? How he cut his body up?
Yeah. Did you also see he's injured right now?
I didn't see.
Yeah. A hamstring and a finger or something.
Okay, but there's a reason why I looked in the box score and I saw that Austin Reed had 51 the other night.
Yeah, Luka's hurt already.
Oh, geez.
Hey, and remember, Dallas, Kyrie Irving is supposed to come back around Christmas.
Yeah,
He's
Hey, look, and that's why I'm saying they were in the finals 2 years ago, and look, Kyrie Irving is a special talent, and
you just never know how a guy's going to come back, especially that first season.
That's a very good point. So
all the way through my career, it's interesting because guys who had ACL surgery, they come back the following season. They wouldn't necessarily be them. They're kind of feeling their way through and don't trust it. And it's the season after that you see them get back to their normal self. So it'll be interesting to see how Kyrie comes back.
Yeah.
I see him with his mentality. That's what you got to worry about. He thinks differently than everybody else.
He relies on his quickness anyway to it's a big part of his game to make him flourish. So that could certainly be a compromise. Right. We'll have to see. You're right.
So you're high on the Timberwolves, huh?
I think the Timberwolves are a top 5. I have them at 5.
Yeah.
But the Spurs would be 6 for me.
Oh, right behind them. Okay.
Yeah, the Spurs would be 6.
Just the Timberwolves defense is what gets them to where they. And then Anthony Edwards, hamstring, so who knows how long he's going to be out.
Yeah, I saw that it's going to be at least a couple of weeks with him. So
but hamstrings linger.
Yeah, it really. And I said, man, hopefully the Suns have the Timberwolves on their schedule early.
I think they do. I think they have them come up in a couple games actually.
Yeah, because Anthony, the Suns can't handle Anthony. But I tell you what excites me is Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks knows how to get in any offensive talent's head. Yeah. He really does.
Well, by the way, what was wrong with him last night?
I think it was more of a management. I think he
tweaked something. I don't remember what it was. I was listening to the pregame and I heard it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I didn't hear anything.
The thing I like about groin is what it was. Yeah. So the thing I liked about Dillon Brooks was I think it was either the Clippers or Denver game. Might have been Clippers game, but Dillon Brooks, they were interviewing him at the locker after the loss, and they asked him, what's it like playing with Booker and all that. And he said Booker needs to be more selfish, especially late in the game.
He said that?
Yeah, Brooks said it right at the locker. And then that's a leader that's going to speak his mind and say, hey, this is what we need on this team. We need Booker to shoot those balls. And even last night in overtime, Booker passed up a shot that he probably should have taken. So if you have that voice in the locker room, you have that guy that's respected in the locker room saying that stuff publicly, I think that's a good sign for the Suns in terms of the leadership side. Now, Booker's got to listen, and we'll see how that goes. But, I do like that about him a lot. And then just the in everybody's face kind of a thing is kind of great, to watch as well.
I like everything about Dillon Brooks. I like him bringing that attitude, and when you watch people like Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic just have their way with the Suns in years past, Dillon Brooks he's not going to put up with that.
Yeah.
he really not. He'll get in their head. I mean, he really will. He's going to talk trash and he's going to get physical with them. He's going to make plays. He's going to upset them, and so I like that.
I'm looking up here to see what Luka's injury is here because, like I said, I know it was a finger, and I want to say it was his leg as well. So I don't know how long. he'll be out there. But yeah, Austin Reeves, man, it's just.
I think he had.
51
I think
points last night.
Reeves had a 50 and a 40-point
Yeah,
game in the
all
last
right.
2 games.
But I mean, Lakers. I don't have any high expectations for them, other than like an 8 or 7 seed because of the team around Luka. And Luka's not going to be able to carry him all season long, no matter how ripped he is out there. In the East, other than the Chicago Bulls and 76ers being 3-0, those are both surprises. Any surprises in the
Well,
East?
I'll tell you. Did you ever watch EJ Volcom play at Baylor?
Not a ton. I didn't watch a lot of Baylor, but I've seen him play most of the time.
Yeah. I watched him against U of A, and I watched him against ASU, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this kid, he absolutely and he was a true freshman. Keep in mind, as a true freshman, this guy, he was their go-to guy at the end, and he was almost unstoppable. And so and I didn't really expect to see him doing with the Sixers what he's doing, but him and Tyreek Maxey together, they have been just
good.
absolutely. I mean, the best 1-2 guard combination in the NBA thus far in the season. I didn't expect that, but I mean that's a nice pickup for the 76ers. They don't have to be so Joel Embiid reliant.
Yeah, I mean, even the Charlotte Hornets are 2-1. They've looked well this year, which is shocking.
What?
But,
I didn't know that.
early. Yeah, I know. It's like, what? I haven't watched their games. I've seen the highlight. I'm like, why are we showing highlights of the Hornets? Oh, they're actually doing nice things so far. The team I've been paying attention to all year, and I said it before, the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah. Watch the Hawks,
They had a
not
good
because
offseason.
they're going to be good, actually. Yeah, this might be the season Young gets traded.
They picked up Kristaps
They
Porzingis,
did,
didn't they?
yeah. But I mean, I'm saying
I-
if they aren't good, just pay attention to that as the season goes on, because that could disrupt major teams if he gets traded this year. Because I don't know how much longer they can hang on with just the underperforming there by the Hawks.
Well,
with him.
I thought they had a pretty good in the East. I thought they had a. We already talked about it, the teams I thought improved themselves the most in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I think Atlanta took advantage of the Celtics purge. I mean,
Yes, they did.
A number of teams did, but I like adding Porzingis to their roster.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just I just don't know with them doing all this stuff, and if they do, and they're 1-3, Atlanta has not looked good to start.
they're
I watched-
1-3.
Yeah, they're 1-3.
Oh,
I watched one of their games, and I was like,
Wow, I didn't.
I just
expect-
don't know how much
that
longer.
is a surprise.
I just
didn't
don't know
that.
how longer that if they don't have a good first half. I just don't know how much longer you're paying Young to continue to struggle like they are. So just something to watch here when trade deadline comes and things to that effect. You know, I'm sure they'll turn around. They do have chemistry issues because they're all playing together new and all of that stuff out there as well. But in the East, I mean, lots of surprises in the East. This is what I find fascinating. The East is kind of upside down. And the West is kind of what we thought. Some teams are surprising, like the Spurs 4-0.
Well,
but
I
the East is
have
just
the Knicks.
opposite.
I have the Knicks as one of the better teams in the East. Tell me what their record is. I haven't paid attention to that.
It's actually good. Let me
Okay.
have to think here. I think it's 2-1. It is
Okay.
2-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Knicks are going to be good in the regular season. That's not the problem, Bruce.
Well,
when the playoffs show
well,
up.
let's put it to you like this. Let's put it to you like this. I think it's going to either be the Knicks or the Cavaliers out of the East.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Cavaliers are they're going to be good.
Yeah, I don't think the Celtics or the Sixers. Well, I think the Sixers has been an early surprise. But we'll have to see what VJ continues to do with it.
But the Sixers have some other issues there. I don't know if you can hold it throughout the whole season. You know, it starts are one thing compared to the West. I mean, but even the Miami Heat are 2-1 to start the season, and they're going to be terrible coming into the year.
Yeah.
So at beginning of the year stuff, is what we're kind of dealing with. Obviously, Pacers, Celtics, but Magics are 1-3. They're a nice young, hard
The
fight
Magic are
team.
1-3.
Yeah,
Magic
started off terribly.
Magic is a top 4 team in the East,
I know.
in my
And They
mind.
started off terribly. A young, energetic, dominant team, and they just struggled here to start the season. Yeah, they're worse than the Washington Wizards.
Wagner's bet, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I tried to watch a Mavericks game the other day, one of their games, and I was like, man, this early start time's ridiculous. And I had other things I had to get done, so I wasn't able to pay attention to it. And these Eastern start times at 4 o'clock. I need the time change to happen.
That's
Help
good.
me out a little bit.
What happens Sunday? Unfortunately, I like the Pacific Coast time.
So do I. No,
Yeah.
so do I. But it just when it comes to trying to watch some of that when it's starting at 4 o'clock our time at times, it's like, my goodness, man, to get into that. So
No, I like that Sunday, Monday Night Football ended at about 8:15, 8:30.
yeah. Could you imagine? I even tweeted that out last night. It was 9 o'clock, I think, our time, and I was like, it's 9:30, and I was like 12:30 Eastern time. Good luck tomorrow, folks. And it's like, what in the world is happening?
Coop, you're old enough to remember back in the 80s, 90s, the Monday Night Football started at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah.
And almost all our games and Monday night games in Dallas were Washington, Philly, or New York.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I played at 38, 39, 40. We're coming to the locker room at 10:45. 10:45. I'm looking at that clock on the wall at 10. We got another half of football. I'm in bed by now.
Why would they have the clocks even in there? Take all the clocks
No,
down.
you just need to know when you're going out to the field and all
I
that
know,
stuff.
I know,
But
yeah.
my
when
goodness.
I was before and I traveled a lot, I'd be like I remember one time it was when Drew Brees was having one of those great years with the Saints and they were like dominant, and that was one of those years where they got screwed by the NFL, with those calls. But I remember there was a Monday Night Football game, and I was like, I gotta watch this game. This is gonna be an exciting game. And I made it to like halfway through the second quarter. It was just passed out. I was like, how do you guys do this? All the time, man?
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. But I tell you what, working in TV for 34 years, I learned to appreciate the time zones. I mean,
Right.
it worked great for me. Because they have these exclusivity rights to networks, and so you can't really touch those highlights until the games have been completed. Networks off, and so you learn to appreciate the Pacific time zone because by the time you hit your late newscast, those games are over.
When you're doing those at 10:30, you're doing your newscast at 10:30. They've been over for 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
That is a good point. Something you don't know unless you're in that perspective. So when we come back, we'll keep it rolling. We got, of course, ASU talk. Cardinals get back on the field this week as well. We'll talk a little World Series with you too. A little bit more specific here with today's. What your expectation is today after that 18-inning outing yesterday as well. So come on back, folks. Bruce Cooper joins us on Tuesday. And we're back here, second hour main event Tuesday. I'm, of course, your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestray gets his own little screen here, Bruce. And then, of course, Bruce Cooper joins us on Tuesdays as well. And, we're just talking off air there about the World Series game last night and the decisions made, et cetera. And I'm looking forward to tonight. When was the last time you saw, a lot of times I was saying earlier in the show, teams will send the starting pitcher of the next day home in games like that or to their hotel to relax, get away from it, do their night before they pitch the next day. You can't do that with Ohtani when he's on base 9 times.
You can't. But I was listening to his interview on the field through an interpreter. He says, I just want to go home and go to bed so I can be ready for tomorrow, which was actually later on that day. Well, I guess the game ended about 11:30.
It was around midnight. It was before midnight, but but by the time they shower, do their press stuff, and get out of there, they weren't getting home till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then LA traffic, the usual.
Yeah, look. Ohtani clearly is one of one. I mean, we've never seen anyone quite like him. I know a guy like Dale, who was in the Babe Ruth era, he could probably tell you about Babe Ruth being able to hit home runs and pitch as well. But look, Ohtani's special.
A longtime listener was hitting me up yesterday, and he was saying things like, and I respect it, but he was saying, he's not even the best hitter on the team, right? Freddie Freeman's a better hitter. Freddie Freeman's a better defensive player, and then he was saying, and I even said, like, Yamamoto to me is a better pitcher than Ohtani right now. Ohtani's coming off the Tommy John surgery and that stuff. But I kept trying to make the point to him, okay, but Freddie Freeman can't pitch.
Yeah,
and Yamamoto can't hit.
Where's all this haterade? I mean, look, I watched this dude hit over 50 home runs and steal 50 bases. I think that was last year.
What, was it 50-50 or 60-60? I couldn't remember.
I think
Well,
it
it
was.
was at least 50-50.
It was
Yeah,
definitely
it was 50-50, yeah.
Yeah, at least as Dale said. And,
I might be
and,
making
and,
it
and,
up,
and so then you had to shut him down because he had some arm issues in terms of pitching. And what we've seen from this guy in the postseason, I mean, he's been spectacular. I mean, the one game that he had where he threw, I believe it was what 6 or 7 shutout innings
yeah.
with 10 strikeouts,
And
in
hit the
addition to
ball.
the 3 home runs. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, I look, whoever wants to hate on Ohtani and try to. Hey, look, I'm not knocking Freddie Freeman at all. Freddie Freeman's a terrific player, but Freddie Freeman, he is no Shohei Ohtani.
No. And I just kept trying to express to him, like, yeah, Freddie Freeman's great. There's no doubt about it. Future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. But can't do what Ohtani. He's not doing what Ohtani's doing right now in the biggest stage on the planet. On top of it, nothing bothers him. He just goes up there and hits home runs in the biggest moments, and then he goes out there and turns around and pitches in the biggest moments.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's a lot of hate toward Ohtani. There always has been. I don't understand it either. I mean, if I was going to hate the guy, I'd hate him because I'm an Angels fan. And, he left our team. They couldn't win with him, and I blame a lot of that on other stuff. And then he left us to go to the hated Dodgers, And even I'm like, man, this guy's special.
yeah. Look. I thought Ohtani was going to pull a Clayton Kershaw, a great regular season, and get to the postseason. I think he was like 1 for 20 at one point or something like that in the playoffs. But man, since then, Ohtani is one of one, people.
Robert said he has 63 home runs this year if you include the playoffs. But multiple home runs in playoff games, like last night. I mean, it's the ultimate respect, like you were saying. You compared to kind of to Barry Bonds when he was walked here, bases loaded, to walk in a run instead of pitching to him.
Right.
9 times on base last night, and they didn't pitch to him after what, the 8th inning?
Yeah, nine at bats. He's on base nine
times,
times.
yeah.
I mean that.
My only complaint last night, Coop, was that the Blue Jays should have not said, don't put all your stuff on. It takes him 5 minutes to put all his pads on and all that, only to walk out to the plate and take everything off.
And they actually duped him one time. They actually pitched to him, but there wasn't a pitch near the strike zone. So
Yeah, it's just an amazing thing. So tonight, then Ohtani tweaked something in his leg running to second
Yes.
on that one. And it was like, how's that feeling today when he's coming out? Because obviously, and it was on, if I remember correctly, it was on his left leg, which is his, plant leg when he moves, forward, it's his landing leg.
Well, yeah. And I'll tell you something too, just since you're on the injury, I think the Springer injury, we don't know. I don't really know the depth of it or anything like that. But let me tell you something. Springer has a history of late game heroics in the postseason, and to not have him available because maybe the Blue Jays ended the game before that Freeman blast in the 18th if Springer is available, and so
right side discomfort MRI is all that's being reported right now, and of course he left last night's game early.
Yeah,
and you're right. It would have been a different
him.
game if he would have been in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the other side on that, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I forgot. That's how long this game was. Dodgers fans celebrated him getting hurt and leaving that game.
Oh, did they
And,
really?
Yeah, they were cheering. Look, Springer's been a thorn in their side. And no pun
hey,
intended,
look.
but I get it. Right?
Yeah,
But
look,
to cheer a guy going out of the game for injuries, kind of.
Look, he has a history of that in the postseason when he was with the Astros. I mean, how many big game hits can this guy produce? It's in the postseason. It's unbelievable.
I'm just looking here. There's nothing as of 9 hours ago on it. We'll hear something, obviously, as the day goes on. But if you're getting an MRI because of a right side, that's not a good sign. Not a good sign for tonight's game.
Is that an oblique issue?
That's what I would say it would be. Something to that effect. Muscle issue right there.
He said side issue, so it's either oblique or love handle. I think probably oblique.
Yeah. Well, George Springer does not have love handles. I can tell you that right now. What was that? It was the seventh inning is when he went down. That's what's funny. Is like he left early in the game.
Yeah.
It's like seventh inning. So I mean, this is. I thought if the Blue Jays could win last night, mark him down as World Series champion.
Yeah. Look.
Tonight, now I'm not too sure.
Again, look, and this is what really amazes me about the Blue Jays. They kind of remind me again of the 23 Diamondbacks. because outside of Vlad Guerrero and of course Springer, now that he's hurt, they don't really have those household names. And so yet there they are going pitch for pitch, out for out, inning for inning with the
throws they were
talent
making.
talent laden Dodgers. Look, let me tell you something. I was watching the game, and every time the Dodgers sent someone up to the plate, unless they got to their, and even Edmund has that history of doing things. I'm like, man, you just fear that they're going to do something to Dodgers because they just have a lineup that just loaded. And I think if baseball really wants to, get back into the being America's game. Look, I'm not. I have never really been a salary cap guy, but I'm a salary cap guy. Baseball needs that. I mean, there is pretty much no parity in baseball. So.
Well, I mean, let's not mistake it. Blue Jays have one of the highest payrolls in baseball, even though they don't have the star names like the
stop
Dodgers.
it.
They do. Yes, they do.
Who are they paying?
Okay, yeah, that's what they do. I'm gonna do MLB salaries right here. I'll prove it to you.
Max Scherzer, I know, is probably getting a mint, but I mean, outside of Vlad, Springer, and Scherzer, who the heck is eating up money?
They dumped a lot of money into that payroll for this year. Yeah, I know.
My gosh.
Yeah, so let's be careful on that. Saying they're a low caliber team.
Look. I'm talking about.
I'm not
household names.
saying they're seventh. They're seventh
household
in the
names.
league
I mean,
right now.
I don't. That is surprising.
$255
I would
million
never have guessed
payroll
that.
there.
Who's their highest paid player?
Well,
It's gotta-
because he just signed him.
Vlad.
Vlad Jr.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be, but yeah, no, I know it's shocking. They pumped money into that.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
Because you're right. Every time they bring somebody up, yeah. So Vlad is the highest payroll, 28. Springer's second, 24, and then you get into the starting pitchers, Gausman and Scherzer, 23, and Scherzer's only at 15.5 according to Spot Track here. Jimenez is 10, and then Shane Bieber's 10, and then Adele goes down from that side. Versher is only 8.2.
And
he
I tell
can
you,
perform.
I was not aware of that. Well, I get.
I've changed Bruce's view on the Blue Jays
remember
now.
though, Ohtani's salary doesn't count towards the Dodgers.
Isn't that
payroll
something?
right
either,
now.
either does 3/4 of Mookie Betts and Freeman. They're deferred too for a bunch of years. So yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I hope gambling doesn't hit baseball and baseball gets shut down.
No, the salary cap.
I mean, I do remember that. I was mad at Shohei. I think he got like a $700 million contract, and he's only taking a penny.
He's taking the league minimum, which I think is $2 million is
a
what he
penny.
has to take. And he doesn't get paid out for like 20 years or something like that. Is when they start paying out. Yeah, so that Dodgers luxury tax record amount, I think it's $168.8 million or something, does not include any deferred money. Deferred money doesn't, because they tried to enact a rule where deferred money gets hit now for the luxury tax, and it was shot down by everybody. But that's a good thing that's going to come out of this is there's going to be the Dodgers are fundamentally changing the game of baseball. We don't know it right now, and I agree with you on the salary cap side, but you've got to protect the owners from themselves.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to say.
And the other thing I do want to point out, I think you kind of alluded to it, Coop. I just like the way the game's being played. You don't see errors. You don't see sloppy play. It's just great fielding, great plays. It's kind of a fun brand of baseball to watch.
It is. Look, the intensity goes up in the postseason, and I mean, it seems like the flair for the dramatics is certainly increases, and so it becomes a fun brand of baseball to watch for sure.
Remember last year in this, the Yankees Aaron Judge was dropping routine bloopers into center field and the errors that they were making. I mean, last night, how many guys did we see make perfect throws?
Yeah.
To nail guys last night, and it was just fun to watch. I enjoyed it, which means, and I said it earlier, tonight's game is going to be sloppier than sloppy because everybody's going to be tired.
Hey, can we move on to something else? I feel like arguing with Coop. Can we talk about Cardinal football or something?
We're getting to it. I got to get the non-argument stuff out of the way first here. But Kenny Dillingham, let's start with that first. Your thoughts? We let our thoughts be known yesterday on the show on that debacle down there in Tempe and the the black cloud that rolled over the whole stadium, the whole ASU premise on Saturday night. So microphone is yours, Bruce.
Man, I felt like I was watching one of those late Dennis Erickson or late Todd Graham units where, the yellow hanky just comes out all the time. I mean, they had, I believe, double-digit penalties.
12.
And that's inexcusable. But the
12
one
in big moments.
Yeah, the one that hurt them the most, they are down 17-0 in the third quarter. Levitt throws like a 25-yard touchdown pass to Mateer.
One-handed catch by
Right.
Mateer.
And it should be 17-7, but
And
there
they
was
had
a
all
flag.
the momentum.
Yeah, they had two guys in motion at the same time, and
That flag came
one
so
of them
late.
one on the outside receiver, he kind of flinched, and which meant that the slot guy now can't move. But since he did, they threw the flag, and I'm like, this is inexcusable because you took 7 points off the board, and so then you brought on your field goal kicker. I don't know what was up with Gomez.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with him.
Celebrating
But-
that Big 12 Special Teamer of the Week the week before.
but he missed his second field goal. So now it should be 17-7. At worst, it should be 17-3. It was neither. It was still 17-0. And immediately Houston drove the length of the field. Score is 24-0. And now you're going to the fourth quarter.
Right.
Down 24-0. I mean, that's like a 14-point swing that it was difficult to overcome.
Another slow start for him. Now, on the first drive, Sam gets hurt. Looked like an upper body. We couldn't tell in the
I
stadium.
thought it was his ankle.
No, not on the first drive. He was running fine. When he walked off
He
to
got
the
hurt
locker room.
twice.
Yeah, the second time it was his ankle when he came out. But not having Jordan Tyson, everybody said it's an emotional letdown after that Texas Tech big win. No, they started the way they've always started, just terribly going into that game, and they cannot solve it.
It's the same thing that we're seeing with the Phoenix Suns, and I know it's only 4 games for the Suns, but it's the same thing. They just get out to these incredibly slow starts. Now, granted, we've watched 2 great comebacks from slow starts. I mean, the win over Texas Tech, the win over TCU. I mean, those were great fourth quarter rallies. Look. They had 16 points. They had the ball back with a chance with about 2 minutes left in the game to go down and score and get a 2-point conversion and tie the game and sit. But again, you're asking a lot, and now they're having to do it without Sam Levitt, and so
And they're now McLean stepped up. McLean basically stepped up like Jordan Tyson. I was like, you can't duplicate Jordan Tyson with one guy. Well, they basically did. McLean stepped up at that level.
But I'll tell you a guy that I said that that they weren't enough to was Jalen Moss.
He had a couple catches.
Huh?
He had a couple catches.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I said, I'm like, feed him more.
I
Feed him more
actually put out on Twitter, I said, was that a Moss sighting?
Yeah. Look, it really was. And look, Jaron Hamilton, excuse me. There was a pass that went. I don't know what he was looking at. He could have caught it in the end zone for a touchdown. He didn't do that. He had another one of those bombs that he actually caught, but the defensive player made a really nice play to strip him. as he was
Defensive
going
guy
to the
gets
ground.
paid too in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. So, but I think Malik was 7 for 159.
159.
Yeah. Look, I just don't expect Jeff Sims to be wildly accurate.
Here's the question that I took away. I was thinking about it some more last night. I brought it up yesterday to Dale. You came back in that Mississippi State game in the second half because you came out and you ran the football. You've come back in these games because you've dominated and ran the football. Where was the run game in this game?
Well, I'm gonna tell you
Not
something.
there at all. Nowhere to be found.
Here's the. You know what was ringing through my head as I'm watching that game? Down, if you said that. That man right there. He's always talking about the offensive line play and the lack of a running game.
The fact that he brings up the offensive line, I find myself staring at these offensive linemen getting beat every game now because of this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was doing this. I was doing the same. I'm doing the same thing. And so I'm asking myself, God, is losing Ben Coleman really?
They were bad. They were bad when Coleman was in there.
Yeah,
still,
but
not all the time, but they were bad.
And here's the deal. and so
Yeah, you go from a fifth-year senior to a freshman, I think he is, a redshirt
yeah,
freshman,
redshirt
maybe?
freshman
Yeah.
Hilton.
That's a big, but it's not just the center getting beat.
No. It is. Their guard play is. They're not picking up stunts.
Oh yeah, no, they're getting
allowing.
beat.
I
The
mean,
defense, some defensive lineman is in the back. There was a play I was telling Dale that I saw, where literally, I think it was Sam got the ball, snapped to him, handed the ball off, and 3 linemen were facing the handoff as the defensive guy was tackling him. And it
Yeah.
was just like he was basically there when the ball was handed off, and 3 guys are turned around looking at him, and it's like, how does that happen?
Yeah, one of my big reasons for liking the Sun Devils to repeat as Big 12 champions is the fact that they were returning. They're too deep, pretty much their entire too deep. Yeah,
Lost nobody
And-
to the transfer portal.
and so, but then I was looking at just looking at the injury report, and I know we haven't had the heart of their defense. I mean, Xavier Alford, he's like their ASU's Buda Baker. So they haven't had him since I believe the Mississippi State game.
Yeah.
Without him, there was no Coleman, there was no Jordan Tyson. Who else was not there?
Yeah, but other guys have stepped up.
Yeah, they have. Look,
Rouser stepped up until
Boogie
he
Wilson
got kicked out.
Yeah,
Jordan Crook he's been dominant back there. Number 8.
They
Crook
they
there.
have, and that's
Boogie
good.
Wilson has been dominant in that secondary.
But something is missing, and I can't figure out what it is because every game is again they get off to a slow start. They were shut out for the first 3 quarters of this game, and
Which is what's interesting. It's like they don't start playing unless they're down by 17. They did it in this game too. 17 was when they started to drive the ball.
Right.
Then that penalty was called back. They get down by 24. Okay, now we're going to start playing, and they make it a ball game to where one possession with 2 minutes to go, and it's like, can we just start the game 17 nothing down? Can we
I'm
petition
trying
it?
to put my finger on it, and what I keep coming back to is our inability to block and our inability to run. I mean, I like Raleek Brown. He runs hard. He does it. He was doing some special things early on, but man, though all of a sudden either the commitment to running or is not there because we fall down early. I'm not sure what it is, but we're not
but I agree with
running
you.
the ball.
I agree with you. They were down. They had to start throwing it. But in previous games that they got back into, they went with the running game early in the third and got back into it that way.
Yeah.
So they have a history of that. And this time they were like, nope, we're just going to throw the ball everywhere with an offense that was struggling. Sam did not look healthy as that game went on with his ankle in that third quarter. I put it out and I go, he does not look good out there. He does not look healthy. He can't outrun it. The offense is stunted from that side. And instead of handing it off, 21 carries total, and that includes Jess Sims running it 3 times, Levitt running it 6 times.
Wow.
46 passes between the quarterbacks.
that's 9 between your quarterbacks, and they only ran it 21 times.
Yeah.
That's means that's not good.
You know
Hey,
what, Coop? Here's what it boils down to. And you know I love Kenny Dillingham. I love his staff. Thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie Regal, who's taking a leave of absence. Do you know the last time that ASU had back-to-back 10-win seasons?
I probably have to go back to Todd Graham.
They've done it
They
2
didn't-
times in school history.
They didn't even do it with Todd Graham.
To
They
12
didn't do it with Chad
He had
Graham.
9. He had 9 in that.
Dude, stop it.
to 12, I think it was 2012 and 13 or 13 and 14. And then you got to go back to 72, 73 in the whack.
Frank Kush.
In the whack.
That's not good, Dale.
And that's their history. Like,
Right.
we can't have good things, Coop.
Yeah.
It isn't easy. This is what people don't understand. It's not now. They should, with all the talent they came back. It's not easy to win 10 games in a row. Very few schools do it every year. Very few of them.
There's a select blue bloods that do it, but you're right. You're
people
right.
with the
you're right.
and
You're
the
right.
cheating and the-
But yeah, this is I think Arizona State has to do a better job at the quarterback position, and by that I mean when one goes down, you got to have another. I mean, Jeff Sims. Look. I love how he is committed to the program. He's like a 6th-year senior, perhaps.
He could have left someplace else, and he would have been able to start
But
someplace
he
else.
he just he has a deficiency in accuracy.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled at Nebraska.
And that hurts your team. And so, look, I remember the era when Dirk Cutter was here. I mean, there was that argument. I mean, Rudy Carpenter, Sam Keller. There was a third quarterback I can't think of right now in that same group. But they had people.
That wasn't
who were-
Taylor, was it?
No, Taylor was with.
Was he after? Yeah.
Yeah, he came. Taylor
Kelly.
Kelly came later with. He threw the Hail Mary, the Jail Mary.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Oh, my
now we're all going to
Because it's also Berkovici,
Yeah, Berkovici.
Mike Berkovici, and they also had the kid that came in at the goal line was the trying to that would, I guess, run the quarterback
the option or whatever.
option or
The
something like
Wildcat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other side that ASU has, because second year in a row now, there's a deficiency in special teams. Now, I'll give it this: punting actually was fairly good. Now, the first punt was kind of short, but he had a ton of hang time, no return. The rest of the punts were good.
Yeah,
But
Canyon
now
Floyd-
you got the field goal unit not being able to
Dude,
bad
I
snap
can't
to begin
figure
it.
that out.
The first
My
one was
goodness.
a bad snap. That guy was lucky the holder was lucky to get it down at that point. But the other ones, you're right. But then the kickoffs, kicking it off out of bounds at one point, fair catching it when you got 2 minutes to go and you need to go down and score and you're at the 4-yard line, 5-yard line.
Zachariah Sample. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? The ball should be at the 20, and you caught fair catch it at the 5.
Just those attention to those details, and I'm not going to blame Charlie Regal and the special teams coach, especially when Kenny Dillingham's like, we're focusing on this, focusing on it. Okay, but everything else got worse while you got improved the punt team, but everything else got worse.
And now, the returns, I think they had like 3 returns, and every time it was like they had like a 30, 40, 45-yard return. It was a penalty.
Call back on the penalty. And then my favorite one is early in the game, an ASU guy touches the ball first, which makes it live. Luckily, it went out of bounds. And it's just the regression of special teams, for a second year in a row is alarming. You knew it was going to eventually cost them a game. It didn't necessarily cost them this one, but you can't get back into a game if your special teams are playing that way. And it's just, it's almost like they're not focused. I put a lot of this on the coaching staff. It's not that I'm not going to want to fire or anything to that stuff. I just think the coaching staff lost their standards, and they're trying to find it in the middle of a season. So I give them credit for trying to find it in the middle of the season. I just don't think, and Dale's been in it a lot, I just don't think you can fix this stuff in the middle of a season.
Yeah, especially when you're going on the road now to play Iowa State, your last really tough game on the schedule outside of the U of A game. I'm convinced they're going to play it without both
Tyson's
Levitt and
definitely
Tyson.
going to be out. They haven't announced it, but Tyson's definitely probably going to be out because they're going to wait till the bye week. But I agree with you. I even said it on Saturday leaving the stadium. I go, we're going to be without Sam Levitt next week. Get him to the bye week and get him ready for the last 3, which I brought up to Dale yesterday. Is 8 wins in the season if they get to 8 because they're 5-3 now. Let's say they win 3 out of their next 4. Is 8?
It's a disappointment.
But is it a failure? It's disappointing because of their goals were a Big 12 repeat.
Well,
playoffs,
to me, it's a fine line between disappointment and failure. So yeah, I'm going to call it a failure.
Yeah. Well, again, so much of it's on the expectations. You guys, again, we could talk all about the ancillary stuff, but in my mind, you show me a good team, a double-digit win team in college football or in the NFL. Everyone has a good to decent offensive line. And it all starts up there. We can talk all we want about the quarterback play, but if you're running for your life, you're getting the crap beat out of you. You're getting hit in the backfield when you get the ball handed off to you. It's tough to run an offense. It really is. And again, I just look at both the Sun Devils and I look at the Cardinals. And I've been a defender of the Cardinals' offensive line for the last couple of years. I don't think that they got the respect they deserve, but this year I look at them both, and they're both woefully underperforming.
Yeah, and it bothers me big time that I hear Dale's voice when I'm watching this, and I'm getting pissed off.
I was sitting in the stadium and I saw that one play, And I was like, gosh, I would have ignored that before, but Dale's harping in my ear all the time about how bad they are, and I'm noticing it. I don't like this at all. So, really quick, Kenny. Well, first of all, this will be Kobe. Really quick, this will be KD on being named, his name being out there. Obviously, some big programs are opening up. Kenny addressed that yesterday. He was asked about it again. LSU, obviously a big one. Things. I'll say this: if Kenny leaves, I don't think Kenny is stupid enough to leave to go to an LSU, a Florida. I think he's one of those guys that's grounded, and I'll tell you why I think that here in just a minute. But here's Kenny Dillingham's question on his name being out there for these other coaching jobs.
Your picture's on the top of an Athletic article today speculating of LSU and Penn State. So have you told your agent, don't listen to anybody, don't answer? Do you listen? Where's your role in future openings?
I'm trying to win as many games as I can here. That is my number one focus is our players, our football team, everything about us. That's simple. Like, I am so singularly focused on us to win football games, to become a better football team, this season. Like, that's my singular focus.
That wasn't enough.
Yeah, it really wasn't, was it?
Well, come on, guys. Let's be realistic.
That wasn't enough.
Let's be realistic. He had one good season. He's had one good season.
Okay.
He loses this week. You really think
You're
Penn
5-4.
State or LSU or who's it? Florida?
Florida
State, whatever. Whoever.
Florida. Well, Florida State's going to open up too.
You
but
really
Florida,
think
yeah.
they're going to come calling Kenny Dillingham?
Well, let me put it to you like this, Dale. Let me put it to you like this. I think Kenny Dillingham would be, I don't want to use the word a fool.
I'll use it. He'll be stupid.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a more of a better euphemism.
Yeah.
Because all he has to do is look and see that. Look, Brian Kelly left Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Left Notre Dame, and he was getting pressure there because when he went there, he's talking about national championship. Couldn't win one there.
Yeah. They don't support me at Notre Dame.
Yeah, and he went to LSU, where Nick Saban, Les Miles, Ed Orgeron all won national titles. He went there saying, "I can do this too." Meantime, the dude that replaced him at Notre Dame, Freeman, it has Notre Dame in the national championship game last year. So for Kenny Dillingham to look and see that, I saw something where Les Miles' record was like 34-14.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 20 games over 500.
Yeah.
But then you look at those 14 losses.
Yep.
They all come to the teams that they're expected to beat in their SEC to get to a national championship. And he didn't do it. Kenny Dillingham has to understand, dude, that's the standard. That's the standard.
Yeah,
and if Kelly couldn't reach that standard, I'm all about you always thinking that, I'm a difference maker. But, dude, you're going to a conference with Alabama, with Georgia, and we already see Florida said goodbye to Napier because
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's going to be a one and done.
Vanderbilt.
You have to sustain it. You have to sustain it.
Well, I mean, it's hard, though. It's hard to look at and go, you know what? If I do go there and fail, I'm going to walk away with $53 million.
But the head coaches aren't looking at it that way. We look at it that way because that's about how much Coop got when he left Cal 12.
Right.
That's why he lives in the lap of luxury. That's crazy.
No, but I agree. I think he's one of those coaches that looks at it and goes, "That'd be stupid." I talk about this all the time with high school players here. They go, "Oh, I got recruited by Georgia. I'm going to Georgia." Right? And then a year later, they're transferring out. Right?
Sure.
And they got any playing time. They hated it there. I'm going to go to this school because it's a big name. And then they're coming back and they're playing at New Mexico or coming back to Arizona State, Arizona. It's not always green on that other side. I think Kenny Dillingham recognizes it. And don't believe me, believe Kenny Dillingham here. He was asked about, specifically about those other jobs. And he gave a perspective that tells me he understands the perspective here. Here's Kenny talking about that.
Why do you think loyalty is so questioned in this profession?
Because it's both ways. people get fired as quick as they get hired. So, you know, it's how can people hate coaches as quickly as they love coaches? So I think it's a just part of it is it's a volatile world where everybody wants to be first. And it's, to be honest, like Ricky Bobby said it best. Like, if you're not first, you're last in this thing. And I think that's why it's such a volatile profession is everybody expects everybody to be first. And if you're not first, you're last and you get fired. So when you are first, well, how do I stay first? Or what do I got to do to stay first, right? Because eventually you're probably going to be last, right? It's historically over time. And then the key is, how do you just not bottom out? And I think I've said that from the beginning. The goal is to create sustainability. The goal is to create a standard and to where your valleys are higher than they've ever been. The highs are going to happen when they happen, right? How do you create a program that is, when you're at the low, it's still pretty dang good. When you're not exceeding or hitting expectations, it's still pretty dang good. That is the challenge, is to not go from here to there. If you can go from here to there, and then go there, then go there, then there, then all good. You just can't go there. And I think, you know, that's why it's so volatile is everybody's volatile. It's not just the coaches, fans. Everybody's volatile in this deal. We're a reality show, right?
I mean, this is why I asked you the question on 8 wins. I thought they were going to lose 3 games this year going into the season. They're looking at 4 in my eyes right now, possibly.
Well, I had a better
to
season
go,
than that.
they had the bigger deal last year, right, where they peaked up there. ASU winning 8 to 9 games a year and every once in a while popping up and doing that other thing. That's a sustained program, which we haven't seen the likes of.
Yeah. See,
How about we set our standards there
no,
before we set our standards at every year Big 12 championship and playoffs?
I wouldn't, if I'm a player, if I'm a fan, I don't want to lower my standards. I'm going in with those expectations. But I think, like, is it Seghetti at
Indiana?
Indiana? Look, I think he was smart. Look, this guy has a track record of being successful.
And
his
lower
name
programs.
and his name was going to be prominently mentioned with the Penn States and the LSU's and stuff. Well, LSU just paid him a boatload of money, and he's smart
Indiana.
to stay where he is because see, he can get away with an 8, 9, or 20
yes,
games over
yes.
500 at Indiana, and he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
He can't go to LSU as we just saw, or
No,
Other
LSU, the
places-
standard is Brian Kelly was the first head coach to not win a championship at LSU since 1995.
dude, stop it.
Yeah, dead serious. Every other coach. And Adrian has a championship there. Brian Kelly, first ones. The standard is championships at
Yeah.
LSU.
And-
The
and
standard
look-
here, the standard there right at Indiana is let's just sustain 8, 9 wins this season.
Well, I think the standard is you shoot for the moon.
Well, of course.
And you just hope to fall in the stars.
Well, of course.
And
That's the point,
and that would be that'll sustain Seghetti at Indiana and certainly
Eventually, though, it won't. But we have to get to that point first. Like if you win ASU wins 8 games in a row for the next 5 years. Eventually, people
not
are going to
good
go.
enough.
He's not good enough. You
It's
got to
not.
move on. He's not winning the big thing.
Todd Graham found that out.
Yeah, exactly. So there does come a point where you do have to step up from time to time. But, you know, it goes to that thing. You know, I make fun of the Cowboys a lot, right, Dale? And, you know, they make a lot of money going 9-7, 8-8, 9-7 back, 8-8 back in the day, 9-7 now. You know, and every once in a while popping their head up making the playoffs. Their fan base gets mad about it. Other people make fun of them for it. That's what their goal is. We're going to stay here. We're not going to drop down to 2-3 wins. We're going to stay right here at this even level, and we'll pop our heads up every once in a while. Every once in a while, we'll dip down a little
Yeah,
bit.
but see,
No,
but we'll stay right here in this level, and then we'll
No,
we'll
but
go up there.
that's a beaten down ASU fan. That is. It's because that's what we respond.
I'm an ASU fan and I'm also an ASU alum. I ain't feeling that at all.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But there are a lot of people who think that. Hey, every 3 years that we can win 10 games? Are you kidding me?
No, you want it
that'd be
more
great.
often. You want to, but Wait, let's get to a consistency level, guys. How many times you just said it? We haven't won 10 games in 2 years
Okay,
since like
but-
1970
okay,
something.
okay, but-
let's get to consistently 8-9 wins
No,
a year.
no,
And do the bump up every couple years.
No,
the realistic thing here is, Bruce, and we're going to get in a big argument about
No,
this, is the repeat was not happening this year. The odds were against them no matter what. Based off of the schedule alone, the odds were against them to repeat.
I didn't believe that. And I still, look, the season has to unfold the way it does for me to believe that. I'm going in. I look at what I have coming back, what I had.
Mm-hmm. You got everything coming back.
Yeah. My biggest loss and my only loss really was Scatterboo.
Yeah, I didn't say they couldn't do it. I said the odds to get there was not in their favor.
Well, let me tell you something. If you just go back and look at their 3 losses this year, only one has been a colossal blowout and a disaster. That was Utah, and that's the one game that you didn't have Sam Levitt, period. Right. And
but that's the other side of this. The way they have played has been disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't know where that's coming from. It's perplexing. Look, if you tell me that Houston is better than Texas Tech, I'll walk out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. And yet that's what took place. Houston took down Arizona State in their 10-game home winning streak.
Yep.
I just knew ASU was going to finish the season undefeated
At
until
home?
At home. And I said their next biggest test would be Iowa State. And if I have Sam Levitt playing, I like my chances. And so I expected ASU to be back into the Big 12 championship game against BYU. Now, I was doing some look, ASU needs a lot of help right now. I mean, I I read something where Kenny Dillingham said, hey, we're in the exact same place we were a year ago.
Yes.
BS. BS.
I agree with you.
Look. Now
Schedule-wise, he's not wrong.
For ASU to even have a chance, their best bet is to have BYU run the table. See, if BYU beats Cincinnati,
that's a beat everybody.
Utah plays Cincinnati as well. You need Utah to beat Cincinnati.
Texas Tech.
Right, and BYU to beat Texas Tech because you beat Texas Tech
By the way,
head
did
to
you see
head.
Texas Tech starting quarterback just at season
Yep,
ending?
that
was a
was a
backup.
backup. Yeah, that was a
Oh,
backup.
oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Morton hasn't been playing. That was the backup. So they need Morton back, the main guy back, because of the backup. Yeah. But that's the thing. Yeah, you're right. BYU needs to run table. But record-wise, they're in the same boat as they were last year. But remember, last year, the teams that were ahead of them, they played
Right.
BYU, and they beat them, for instance.
Right, exactly.
They beat the teams that were ahead of them. This year, they don't have that opportunity because of the way the schedule
Right.
falls.
And
And so that's why it's worse for them at that point. To get there, but you got to hype it up as your coach, You
Hey,
gotta
could
get
you
there.
show Bruce what ASU really needs? Can we show him that highlight again?
The one from earlier,
Yeah.
from the offensive line. Hey, Kobe, it's the that NFL one we played earlier, Lineman Dream.
Watch this left guard, Coop. If ASU could get a couple of these guys on their squad, the most I ever did was I knocked down 2 guys on one play. But when he gets this out here, watch. It's against the Cowboys, right?
It was the Broncos Cowboys game on Sunday.
It was a
Kobe,
Denver
play it
left
when you
guard.
got it.
Just
Gonna tap.
watch here, the left guard. See him circled.
They go with Harvey on the toss,
Bam.
and there goes Harvey.
Bam.
Harvey's
Bam.
got first down. Harvey's looking for the end zone.
And see, Coop, you're not watching that.
Well, so
You're not watching. You're watching the runner. You're not saying, "Hey, I wonder how he got there."
I'll go a step farther. Play it again, Kobe.
Yeah.
Don't watch the guy in the circle.
That was RJ
Watch
Harvey.
the other 2 linemen running with. Look at the guy on the upper side running. He's only on one guy.
Yeah.
He's got
Slacker.
first down. Harvey's
He was
looking
more
for the end
pertinent.
zone.
Oh, Nelly! Oh, Nelly! Get up and get you one more.
You had 2 offensive linemen in the second level.
How
there
about them
blocking.
apples, Coop?
Yeah. ASU could certainly use someone like that. They most certainly could. And I noticed that they're redshirting a bunch of their freshman linemen that they recruited.
Okay.
And if you look at the average height and size of those guys,
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that you're like, wow, they're like 6'5", 330 pounds. I mean, they got some big dudes up there, and I'm like, wow, okay. But he's redshirting them all. I mean, I just hope in today's game where people jump in that transfer portal, I hope he's keeping these people happy.
Right.
Because I know playing time can certainly make folk
yeah.
happy. And so I'm hoping that these guys can come through next year because the offensive linemen this year have been a grave disappointment.
I think because it's easy to keep the team together when you have last year's season. The thing that's going to be interesting is with all the travails and everything here, are players still buying into the program, buying into the motives, et cetera, that they all said they were buying into last year? Or was it just because of winning last year? It goes to your point. We're going to find out a lot at the end of this season when the transfer portal opens up. Who's jumping off of the ship from inside the program? It's going to tell us a lot of what was happening in the locker room with the coaching staff, et cetera, if you just see guys going left and right and leaving the
It
program.
might come down to that U of A ASU game for Cooper Mai for that State 44. then.
I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Now I see that U of A plays Colorado. Colorado stinks.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yeah. Just so you guys know, Chris Cartman, 51 minutes ago now, Robert tagged us on this. Sam Levitt is expected to miss the rematch this weekend at Iowa State.
What a surprise.
So that's why I said now, if they had Sam Levitt, I'd be confident about him playing at Iowa State this weekend and wrapping up the season with 4 more wins to get to 9. Now not so much. I think 8's their ceiling right now, moving forward.
Say they lose to Iowa State and Arizona and they end up winning 7 games.
That is unacceptable. That is a down thing. That is
How's 8 wins acceptable?
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. Steve, I mean, man, you need to up your standards, man.
He said one game is the difference between that's fine, we're good, but that's great, and 7.
No,
fire everybody.
the way they're playing this year, the whole season's a disappointment.
It is. It is. It's a failure.
Yes, but 7 is unacceptable. If you're building the program, you say you are, 7 is completely off the table. You need 8 or better going forward at this point, in my eyes. Especially, don't get me wrong. With what they brought back, it's completely unacceptable, Bruce.
Yeah.
But like I said, who they're playing, that was a gauntlet. Do people not realize what a gauntlet they just went through it with all the injuries and everything? It's just and they came out of it. To be honest with you, they came out with it better than we probably thought they were going to.
Look, they should have beaten Mississippi State.
Yes.
They should have beaten Houston.
Yes.
And
The only game they should have lost was Utah. Other than that, they should have won.
So the way I look at it, ASU instead of 5-3 should be 7-1 and still very much in play for the Big 12 title with only just a 1 conference loss.
Or a worse 6-2.
No, because there's not a game I mentioned that they should not have won.
Tell me this: what time's the game on Saturday?
10:00 a.m.
Here, so that's noon.
Noon there.
Noon there.
Yep.
The high is 48. The low is 35, and it's cloudy. I mean, it's going to be 42 degrees. That's a little chilly for the Sun Devils. They got their soft tummies. Make sure they eat okay on Friday night.
Iowa State is certainly a revenge game for them.
Yeah, but Iowa State's worse off than ASU is. What's their psyche going into this game?
Well, it's going to be at home though.
Yeah.
They lost last week at home too, didn't they?
I think
dominated last week at home.
I like the way Rocco Beck's playing a better quarterback than what we'll see from Jeff Sims.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about that.
Let's take a quick break here. Come back. Talk some Arizona Cardinals. Get Bruce's thoughts on the inevitable thing this weekend. But the Cardinals made a move yesterday. We should all question. What are they thinking? Come on back, folks. Main event. That's the going theory here, Bruce. Cardinals talk here yesterday. Cardinals released Michael Carter, the running back. I get it. He's a smaller running back. I like him a lot. I think what he can do is good.
Well, he's bigger than Donovan Knight or Bam Knight.
Bam Knight. So they released him. But the problem is the room is so thin. You need running backs. You cannot go into a game with 2 running backs and expect to survive. I'm sorry.
Well, who are there too?
DeMarcado, who has a hand injury. We don't even know what his status is.
DeMarcado, I thought they put him on IR.
No. Did they?
I thought they did. So he's not even eligible to come back.
Oh, well, if they did that, it's even worse then. Bam Knight? Bam Knight's your only running back?
Well, you go ahead and bring up elevate those practice squatters, whoever you got on that practice squad. I know they have Dearness Jackson.
No,
but I thought for sure they put DeMarcado.
I don't think he did. I think he just had that.
Okay.
I'm looking it up here to see because I didn't. If I did, I missed it or I forgot about it with the bye week. Josh Weinfurst from ESPN that covers the Cardinals, he did put that they're expected. Last night I saw it during the baseball game. They're expected to re-sign Michael Carter. You know, they also released the defensive back Hall as well. No, look, Walter Nolan has to come onto this team. He's got to win. He's been, you know,
his window up.
His window's getting it. I think it's up.
Going to close.
Exactly. So you either have to do it or he goes on IR for the rest of the year. So you need roster spots. Garrett Wilson is eligible to come back from IR as well. So you need roster spots. And Michael Carter in the past has been willing to go on the practice squad.
Garrett Williams, he was on IR too, right?
He's able. His time frame's coming up here.
Okay.
So.
But DeMarcado, I'm almost certain was on IR. So I don't think he's eligible.
I don't see anything on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm wrong.
Be
a first. No,
Bruce making
There's
stuff
a
up.
first time for everything.
I'm not
Bruce.
saying you're not. I just don't see anything in front of me, and I did not see that before. I just know he had the hand problem and everything. So, but you know, so Michael Carter's been prone to go on the practice squad before, but you need roster spots. If Walter Nolan definitely has to come on.
Okay.
You know, he's running out of his time on that window. So it might just be that situation. Now, like I said, Michael Carter, undersized running back. I like Bam Knight better than I like Michael Carter. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But then
Doesn't
the big
matter
news,
if you don't run the ball.
well, that's what I'm getting at.
I like a lot of guys, but if you're not going to run the ball and if you can't block for them,
But
see that up in Baltimore.
The big
You know,
news,
Derrick Henry is just an absolute beast, but if you're not blocking for him, Coop, you know, there's no Eric Dickerson without Dale Hellstray. There's no Emmett Smith without Dale Hellstray. You know what I'm saying, Coop?
I'm just going to let that float out there.
I love it.
We're just going to let that one float. There's nothing to be
That's
there.
good. That's good. You know, Dale paved the way for a record 164 touchdown runs from Emmett.
Yeah.
Emmett himself. And then what did he do for SMU running back?
Eric Dickerson,
Eric
Craig
Dickerson,
James,
yeah.
but they nicknamed us Pony Express.
Pony Express.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Coop?
Greg James, Eric Dickerson, and Dale Hellstray.
I think about this all the time on a side note. I'm just like, you know, woe was Dale in his life, you know. Goes to the Bill, you know, well, goes to SMU first of all, you know, and has to block for those guys and play with those guys there. Then he goes to the Bills. And you're like, oh, the Bills sucked back then. But his final year there, they go to the AFC Championship game.
Block for
And-
Thurman, named Thurman
Thomas, Jim Kelly. He's playing with Andre Reed, and he was a defensive guy.
Bruce Smith.
You know, just think of most NFL guys are just hanging on for dear life, trying to make it to
those are
3
four
years.
Hall of Famers right there.
And Dale just is filled with Hall of Fame guy after Hall of Fame guy around him his whole career.
And the other thing you got to look at, Coop, and you cannot deny,
Dale's a winner, huh?
SMU shuts the program down after I leave. The Cowboys haven't been back to an NFC Championship game since I leave.
Yeah, but the Bills went to 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, they lost them all.
You know,
You can argue, Bruce, but
the facts are the
yes.
facts. And that's the one common denominator we can look at.
I was thinking about that like a week ago, and I'm just like, man, this.
Damn,
and he like plays it down too. He's like, yeah, I'm all right. You know, and I'm like,
I don't like
you
this-
played with how many Hall of Famers in your? Most guys are like, oh, I played with a couple.
You know, I don't like the sound of all that. I mean, we got Dale's soaking up too much glory here.
He doesn't even talk about playing with Andre Reed and Jim.
Oh
He
my
does
God.
Jim
Andre
Kelly a
Reed
little
and I were
bit.
both drafted in the
Yeah.
4th round. That was a hell of a 4th round. For
It's
the
all
Buffalo Bills.
Cowboys this, Cowboys that, and I'm like, then he goes to Baltimore. He's a long snapper. You got Ray Lewis, Goose on there. You know, I know Goose is not a Hall of Famer, but you know, was a solid guy in there. He played with those guys on top. Like, what are we doing?
Got to play through tight end from
Every other
ASU.
tight
Todd
end.
Heap.
Todd Heap.
Every other NFLer is just hanging on for dear life, trying to survive in the league.
hey.
And Dale's like, oh, another Hall of Famer's playing with me.
The great thing about that, Todd, he came out of ASU early. He was 20. I was 40. I played against his uncle in high school.
Did you point that out to him?
Yeah, well, we started talking. Soup's unbelievably nice guy. And he's like, well, when did you go to Saguaro? And hey, my uncle went to Mesa. I'm like, okay. And then we started sharing and.
Well, you know, Dale's had too charmed of a life.
I
Hasn't
know.
He?
No, this makes me sick. And then he complains because somebody didn't give him a hash brown at McDonald's one day. He complains about it. And I'm like, oh, life's rough, Dale. Life's rough.
You know, this is kind of nauseating.
I know, it really
Dude,
is.
you need to do your
It really
research,
is.
my
The,
man.
the good thing about it though is he doesn't talk about it a lot. Like, you know, he brings it up on the show, but it's not like he doesn't walk around brag. So you don't know it. But I just sit back and I'm like, God, like this is sick what he did and what he played with.
See, we need to change the subject.
Let's go back to the
Let's
depressing
go back to the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yes.
That way Snoop pulls out.
Oh, hey, Dale, well done, Dale. I mean, that is well done. Well done.
And Dale's just like, I had an okay career. Kyler Murray is going to be back this Monday night. All indications, you know, it's a weird week because they play Monday night. They did practicing yesterday. He was there with the first teamers. They're going to practice today, have tomorrow off because of the Monday night schedule. There. I know we talked about it last week, and you know, as time has gone on, you know, a week later, big game. You're playing the Cowboys, who gave up 44 points to the Broncos, who can't score out of a paper bag, even though they're winning. So there's hope for the Cardinals this week, is there not? Even with Kyler Murray?
Well, I just hope that Kyler doesn't have a fragile ego, fragile psyche, or anything like that, because I know he's had to have heard the talk on social media, talk and from the media itself relative to Brissett's play and his play. Mm-hmm. You know, I hope he doesn't put a lot of undue pressure upon himself because, you know, every game that Kyler Murray plays, you know, since he's been drafted, I go in with the feeling that we have a chance to win. And I can't tell you, I've said on this program before, the glut of just horrific quarterback play, save Kurt Warner, save Carson Palmer, save Jake Plummer. It's been brutal. It's been brutal. And so I appreciate a guy like Kyler. At least I feel like I have a chance to win. Now, Jacoby Brissett, make no mistake about it, he played this offense much better than Kyler has. You know, I'm talking about the Drew Petzing offense. Now, it's a deal where I think what endears Brissett to a lot of the fans and media is that he will stand in the pocket in the face of a rush.
He looks like a quarterback.
And deliver the ball downfield. Now, you'll never see him make those flashy, great plays that we've seen from Kyler Murray. You know, but what we need from Kyler is more consistency. He more flash, more consistency, and then the Cardinal base will be fine. So if he has this fragile psyche or fragile ego where he can't, he is letting all that chirp outside the field get into his head, then he could have a brutal night Monday night. And keep in mind, he's never lost in Dallas there at AT&T Stadium.
This is the first time he's got somebody that could take his job.
Absolutely. Because
First time. And how do you react to that?
When you go back and you look at the Colt McCoys, the Brett Hundleys, and the kid from Houston.
Max Holes.
Those guys never really
Love
seriously,
you, Max. That was Dale taking a shot. I mean,
never seriously challenged Kyler.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time. But again, we have seen enough of Jacoby Brissett to know that this is not going to sustain itself. See, Jacoby has played against the Colts. They had a depleted secondary, and I'm taking anything away from it. Played against the Packers.
Right.
Both those games, he played really well. And look, Micah Parsons was just a beast in that game.
Yeah.
We had no one that could stop him, and yet Jacoby still stood in the pocket and fired the ball downfield. And so people are going to be looking to see, well, Kyler, how long are you going to hang in the pocket?
Well, let me tell you this.
He doesn't.
It's setting up perfectly for Kyler if he's going to take advantage of it. Coop, you, Steve, and I are playing in the secondary in Dallas this week. They're so injury depleted, and they sucked before guys started going down.
Yeah.
So if he's going to do it, the one thing I can't stand, Bruce and Steve, is when I hear people, well, by the end of the season, they'll know if Kyler can play or not.
That's what he says.
You've had 7 seasons. You know that he's an above-average quarterback.
No, what I'm saying for the end of this season is it gives Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort the cachet to walk into Michael Bidwill and say, Mike, this dude, he's not it for us to be able to win. I know you have a lot of money invested in him, and we have put him, gave him everything he wanted these final 10 games. And Mike, we need to cut our losses. I know it's your money, but that's our
Okay,
opinion.
but now what happens? So if in fact that happens and he doesn't flourish and he doesn't lead this team to 4, 5, 6 victories, are they going to be the ones making that decision?
No, I'm saying that I'm saying the
You're talking about the coaching staff.
I'm talking about the coaching staff.
No, I'm saying that if they don't believe, see, they were handed Kyler Murray.
Right, I understand that.
They were handed. If they don't believe Kyler Murray is that guy,
They
I
believed
think
it all along.
I think these last 10 games give them some ammunition to take to Michael Bidwill and say, Mike, look, I know your investment in this kid, but look, we owe it to our fan base, we owe it to our locker room to get the best quarterback out there. And I think that we need to either draft or trade for that guy and bring back Brissett and make Brissett the stopgap until our next guy is ready.
Okay, I understand that, but do you understand the percentage of coaching staffs that get to come back 3 years and not making the playoffs?
I agree with you, Dale.
They're going into a fourth year.
Is that
I agree.
going to the 4th year? I think it's 0.
But they're going to. But if they can convince Michael that Kyler is the problem, then
Here's my
it
problem with that.
buys him another year or two, maybe.
Who's in front of the microphone since he's been hired and in through this whole thing saying Kyler's our guy, period?
Well,
Unless that's coming from the
yeah,
owner, the
yeah.
owner's going to go, well, you've been saying he's the guy all along. Why are you changing your mind now?
I think that's why he's doing that, because him and Monty Ossenfort sit and say, look, we got a lot of money invested in this guy. It's our job to go out here and make Michael Bidwill look good for that investment.
Anytime you're trying to placate your owner, that's never a good
Yeah,
situation.
well, look, it happens. It
I get
happens everywhere.
I get
I
it.
mean, look.
It doesn't happen in Baltimore.
Well, it's happened in Cleveland with what's my man's name, Deshaun Watson.
You know what happens? Bad teams is where it happens. Bad
well,
teams is where it happens.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of teams out there. I look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their situation. I'm reading some stuff from their situation. Look, they're falling out of love with their number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
Same problem. 4 or 5 years
do you want to trade Kyler Murray for Trevor Lawrence?
I would.
Huh?
I would.
Okay.
Did you say I would?
I would.
Oh, I would drive Kyler down there.
Okay. Okay. Then,
Trevor Lawrence. Well, you need
Okay.
an offensive line, but Trevor Lawrence to me does more things on a football field than Kyler Murray's been doing lately.
Okay. Well, Jacksonville fans and media they'll disagree with you. I'm sure they would gladly take Kyler Murray. So one man's garbage.
Oh, yeah.
One man's garbage
No
is
doubt
another.
about it.
Yeah.
Look at Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Nobody
A
wanted
different
Daniel
coaching
Jones.
staff, different scenery.
The
Yeah,
Vikings
there
were
is
like, we're
something
going
to
with
that.
J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz over you, Daniel Jones. Get out of here. And he went, all right, I'll go to Indianapolis.
Okay, so tell me
Wait,
this.
but you know what he has in Indianapolis? Let's ask Dale. Got an
Lineman.
offensive line and a
Offensive
running.
And a running back.
Jonathan Taylor is going to be. I mean, he's this year's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, because of that offensive line. Philadelphia's offensive line has regressed a little bit this year. Injuries. Okay, I'm going to read you the schedule of the Cardinals. I want both of you to tell me how many games they're going to win.
I've done this so many times in my
see.
head.
Cowboys Monday, Seahawks, 49ers at home, Jaguars at home, Buccaneers on the road, Rams at home, at the Texans, home against the Falcons, at Cincinnati in December, at the Rams.
At best, 5-5.
Okay? And so that would put them at 7-9.
They have 2 wins in this schedule.
Ooh. So you're telling me they're going to only win 4 games?
They have 2 wins in this schedule.
Okay, let's
Maybe 3. Maybe 3 because Cowboys. I'm not sold on that they can't beat the Cowboys in Dallas.
They do every year.
No,
That's
hey,
my point. That's
hey,
what I'm saying. Maybe 3 with the
Hey,
Cowboys.
can the Cardinals score 40 points with this offense?
No, that's my point.
Because I promise you the Cowboys are going to score between 30 and 40 points.
But here's
They haven't shown that they can do it yet.
But here's the point. Here's what you guys are missing. They haven't needed to score even 25 points to be within a play
I get it.
of winning.
That's what I'm saying. They have a shot against the Cowboys. At Seahawks, no. 49ers at home, no.
But dude, the 49ers have their whole I gave the Cardinals a win because their roster is decimated.
The Cardinals
Did you see what they
lose.
look like?
The Cardinals, the 49ers had seasons where they won 1 game a year, man. And who they beat every year?
The Cardinals went to San Francisco. If Zay Jones makes a catch,
I don't disagree.
they win that game.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
And it was stripped away. But now you're coming home
No,
with
so-
him even more decimated.
So keep that in there, right? So we'll do that one as maybe, just to placate you and your delusions. Jaguars at home? A loss.
Absolutely.
That's a loss. That's a
a
loss.
loss.
That's a loss.
The
Jaguars
Jaguars
are in
stink, dude. Are
Okay.
you
Whoa.
kidding me?
that. I don't agree with you on
The
that.
Jaguars
They don't
stink.
stink.
At Buccaneers, why even get off the plane for that one coming up? Rams at home? No, they can't beat the Rams to save their lives. Texans?
Yeah, I
They
got to
should be able to beat the Tex.
Texans again. I put the Texans in that same category with the Jaguars.
Oh,
for
they're
some,
not even
yeah,
close.
for some. Look, Texans have a great defense, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. Their offense has just been brutal.
They're
It's been
talking. They're
abysmal.
talking not about extending their quarterback, who last couple
Stroud?
of years was the savior of the NFL.
CJ Stroud was the bomb.com his rookie year. he has regressed each of the last 2 years.
They're talking about not re-signing him for his contract. Coming up.
And so look, I've seen nothing from the Jaguars offensively. I've seen nothing from the Texans offensively that would lead me to believe that they are heads and shoulders above the Cardinals. And the Cardinals can't beat those teams.
I'm
at
not
home.
saying head and shoulders
Well,
better.
they can't.
I'm saying they're gonna
You
lose.
can't beat them at home.
Falcons, Cardinals will beat the Falcons. They are trash. If
Well,
anything, pay attention. Kyler Murray might get traded after this Dallas game. If he doesn't play well, you might see him as an Atlanta Falcon.
Well, I tell you what, he'd do better than Kirk Cousins did off the bench the other night.
That's the argument there. In Cincinnati, they could beat the Bengals, except for the fact this is a late December game and it's going to be cold.
I actually had them winning because look, I watched the Bengals game against the New York Football Jets, and let me tell you something. Joe Flacco is at least giving them a chance to win.
Yeah.
He's getting the ball in the hands of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and they're able to use Chase Brown out of the backfield. So, but their defense, I mean, they made Fields look like a true number one draft pick.
They did. Yeah.
I mean, my
They did.
God.
But I mean, the weather is what I'm mostly good. Cardinals do not play well in bad weather.
That's a good point.
It's the end of December, and then you come back, go to LA and play the Rams to end the season.
They can't.
In all seriousness, if they're lucky, they have 4 wins left in the rest of the season.
Okay, but I
If
said,
they're lucky.
well, then okay, you're hitting my. I said 5-5 at best, and so yeah,
I
can see
guarantee
that.
you 2 more wins coming up. Guarantee 2. If they're lucky, 4. That's a huge regression in this season. Huge regression. They're 2-5 right now. They win all 4. That's 6 wins. What are we doing?
Well, yeah. They knew that they had to do better in the first half of the season
Yes.
than they did in the second half based on their schedule.
That's where they should have made hay.
Yeah.
The questions are going to get louder as it goes. The questions are loud now on this coaching staff. You think that's going to quiet down over the next several weeks with every game that they play against better competition? There's question marks on the drafting from Monty right now. You don't think those are going to get louder as the season goes on? There's nothing about this that says Cardinals. It's going to get quiet for the Cardinals coming up, and they're going to go on a run. It's going to get worse. It's going to get louder, and that does not equate to a successful end of the season.
Say they win 4.
Here's what I'm saying. At least going into every one of those games, I feel the Cardinals have a chance to win because of Kyler. That's what I do. Because
You are such an optimist.
No. I'm
I love
telling.
it.
Look. I told you guys this is all prefaced off. I've been here with the Cardinals since
You've
1988.
seen so much trash.
Dale,
been in-
exactly. That's
Yes.
my point.
So have I, and I'm not this
I
optimistic.
eliminated 3 quarterbacks. I eliminated 3, and 2 of those quarterbacks were well in their 30s.
Yes.
I was more optimistic when Rosen was starting in that one
are
season.
you kidding? Please.
So tell me this.
Josh Rosen not even in the league anymore.
Say they win 4. They finish, what's that, 6-11?
6 wins.
It's not good, Dale. It's not good.
Do you bring back this staff? 3 straight years.
I don't. I really
Another
don't.
coaching change?
Yes.
It's a what if, and it's a big what if. But if they win 3 or 4 more games this season, that means the Cardinals have kind of shut it down, and that's one thing I never thought would happen to this coaching staff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, I need
agree with that.
I need to find the next Kevin O'Connell, the next Sean McVay. That's who I'm looking for. I gotta find that
don't
guy.
Don't hire the guy that the world champ. Well, they lost that year, but a team going for the Super Bowl wants to unload that coach, and they're happy he left.
And
Yeah.
Tampa.
Don't go hire that guy that everybody wants fired from the Eagles team.
Yeah,
that was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. As I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. The quarterback position is so important, and those are 2 coaches that have proven to me that no matter who you give them at quarterback, they make that guy
In
successful.
Jonathan Gannon's defense, he's a defensive guy, but
Well, that's why I said.
But the defense has regressed this year. When you are a defensive guy as a head coach, your defense better be freaking good. When you're an offensive head coach, your offense better be
you're doing my
freaking good.
Colin Cowherd.
It
You
better
were
be
that
good.
Colin
It better be
Cowherd.
good. And what has happened? The defense. They added money to this defense. They had more heart and everything last year with Dennis Gardeck, Kazir White, who they just let go because they brought in all this high-priced talent and draft picks that can't see the field, and they've regressed. This is on GM. This is on coaching staff and the lack of changes. I'll give Kenny Dillingham so many chances because at least he looked in the cameras and said, yeah, we screwed up. We got soft on our guys. Now we're going to fix that and move forward. And Jonathan Gannon's like, oh, I wouldn't override. If you're looking at this team and going, we don't need to make any changes, you're not the guy for the job. It's time to move on to something else.
I certainly agree. I mean, I'm just.
I was the highest guy on this coaching staff coming into this
Yeah,
season.
I'm just not seeing any really development at the quarterback position here.
Show me where anybody's offensive line has regressed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about show me.
No.
Outside league. We're talking about the
No, I'm
Cardinals.
talking about the Cardinals.
Okay.
Offensive line has regressed.
Yeah.
Receivers are not getting any better. Running game has regressed this year, partly because
Who's
of
the
the
tight
offensive
end
line.
coach? Hire him to be the offensive coordinator.
Tight ends, but even then, tight ends they're not. I'm not going to use the word disappointing, but they aren't using them enough.
Well, they
in
aren't.
this
But I tell you
side,
what, I do like Elijah Higgins a lot behind McBride.
Oh,
I mean, he's just solid.
I loved the other guy that got
Chip-
hurt.
Chip Ryman?
I love him.
Yeah.
They have a good room there. But now injuries on the defensive side. But like I said, they had a better pass rush last year than they got this year with guys that they were like, you're not good enough to play in this league.
Well, Josh Sweat has been a major disappointment.
Well, he's got nobody else to help him out.
No, he
Hey,
stop.
hey,
Stop.
you said they were better last year and they didn't have Sweat
No,
last
yeah,
year.
no, the defense was better last year. The stats show it. Watching the game show it.
I'm telling you, when I watch, and I would have.
I'm not saying Sweat's not at this point. You pay a guy that much, he does something different.
Look, I
than
would.
what he's doing.
I would have paid. I would have given up 2 first-round picks for Michael Parsons. That's how much that I have been so impressed with his game when he was with Dallas. I mean, you could see it, and so I mean, the guy is a complete wrecking ball. He changes.
Cardinals didn't think he was that good.
He's a wrecking ball when he plays. Yeah. He takes more plays off for a $50 million a year guy. And again, I know. You come to me and you say, okay, Dale, would you want Charles Haley, who's going to give you 12.5, 13 sacks every year, play the run, play every down, or would you rather have Micah Parsons? Mike is flashy, and guess what? If you line up Bruce Cooper on offense and say you block him one-on-one,
Or Jonah.
you know, there's been no other team that has blocked him one-on-one except for the Cardinals. And so they give up 3 sacks.
Yeah, Dale. This is where I'm going. Most games come down to that fourth quarter. We're seeing that with the Arizona Cardinals this year. Michael Parsons, what he will do is he will show up in that fourth quarter. He'll show up when that game's on the line. He's a difference maker, and that's what I'm paying him $50 million for is to do that. Because I'm going to rotate throughout the game. But when I need that sack, when I need that difference maker, and the Cardinals have had every game has come down to a play. Every game. This dude is that dude. That's why I would pay him. And I'm not arguing your point with Charles Haley. Charles Haley's more of a 3-down guy.
Yeah.
This guy is just my sack guy. And yes, I'm going to pay him that much because he's the difference between me walking off the field with a W and hanging my head walking off the field with an L.
He's proven that in Green Bay repeatedly, but he does disappear. That drives me nuts about.
No, he
Michael
does.
Parsons.
He does.
You know. So, get everything out, Bruce? You know, ready to go now? You know, relaxed?
I'm just stunned at reality. I mean, I didn't really think about it until you brought it up. I mean, you know,
Sorry.
Dale's lived a charmed life.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I crushed dreams around here.
that really is going to make it's going to
and
ruin my day.
I got to go to Saguaro, not Westwood.
Yeah, he knows I didn't bring up his high school career. Yeah. But he's better at basketball than he was.
Ask him if he went to ASU.
Hey, next week, we need to ask Coop. We were comparing our last games in high school
Oh,
to
geez.
each other's, and Coop's got a story.
Here's the thing. I saw this on X the other day, and it's just haunted me ever since I saw it. We have a savior here in the Valley that we can all look forward to. You asked, when can we look forward to something good? Bobby Hurley and the Sun Devils are getting underway here as well. So our savior's
Somebody
here.
already's hurt. I saw somebody did something.
Well, they got blown out the other day.
Yeah,
in that,
BJ.
that
They
game.
got blown out in that exhibition game.
Yeah.
Coop,
Yeah, it's
hey,
gonna
by
be
the
ugly.
way,
We go GCU. We're gonna go GCU.
yeah, they got beat.
Yeah, they're in a tough league.
Yeah.
They're gonna struggle this year.
By the way, Coop, I did the Brophy Liberty game on Friday night. Well, that Liberty team. I've seen Liberty now. I've seen Hamilton. I know Hamilton beat Basha.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Right the freak now.
Are you going to tell me about a wide receiver?
Roy Oliver III, that is a bad boy. I'm telling you,
Sophomore.
I'm telling you, on a field that was loaded with Division I talent,
Yep.
this dude at 5'10" stood heads and shoulders above them all.
Yes.
He was a playmaker, a difference maker. This is a bad boy.
Yes, he is.
He is a bad boy,
And
man.
that quarterback, pretty damn good, and they're both sophomores.
Jack Scully,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, but I'm telling you, if you watch him play ground level,
Yeah.
the punt return, Dale, there's a lot of people who can run and then they kind of maybe slow down to make a cut. He cuts at top speed.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that can do that can cut at top speed.
Right.
This dude, Roy Oliver III, he does that.
Okay.
He's a special individual.
And let me tell you, the one matchup that I would pay to see, Liberty, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Because that Liberty defense, Coop, that Liberty defense.
Yeah. Look.
And I was talking to Jason Jewell at Brophy, because this second Liberty game I did.
The head coach of Brophy.
Yeah, the head coach of Brophy. We did the Liberty Centennial game. But anytime we do a West Side game, Liberty Centennial, they hit different. It sounds different. There's just something in the water over there. But I would love to see that Liberty defense match up against Hamilton.
I would too.
Yeah.
Because, look, I guess Zeth Thuse, he's committed to ASU.
Yes.
Dunn, I voted for him for the Cardinals Defensive Player of the Year last year, and he won that. You have that guy.
He's got the Pa St. John defensive end who's can rush and pass for the best of it. It would be a fun matchup to see.
It would, and look, I do want to put a little asterisk here that Basha had to play the second half without Brody Veers.
The starting quarterback went down.
Yeah.
Oh, did
yeah.
he get hurt?
But they were,
Yeah.
they were.
No, that was a tight game at that point. It was still a tight game.
But and the reason I
agree,
kind
but-
of the reason I kind of started telling that story
How was he out, by the way?
for Liberty,
Yeah.
they have a starting offensive lineman who plays center, who's a 6'3", 250-pound,
A center?
6'3", offensive
Starting?
center, 6'3", 250 pounds,
Probably runs a 3-second 40.
who's a freshman.
That dude couldn't play at Basha.
You'll see him.
No, Basha has guys that are 6'6", 300 pounds.
Yeah, guess what? I got leverage on you, dude. I got leverage all day long. Give me a tall dude over a short dude any day of the week.
Well, then,
But anyway, when you and I were coming up, freshmen didn't play on varsity and
they
good
were-
football
And they were
programs.
skinny little guys
6'3",
too.
250.
dude, that's like a linebacker.
Yeah, I was 5'9", 130 pounds as a freshman.
Well, you played with leather helmets, so it's a lot different.
We'll end up the show here. Appreciate everybody joining us for the overtime. But for today's baseball game, Freddie Freeman has 7 home runs, 17 RBIs in his last 10 World Series games played.
Wow.
Is the
Wow.
only other player in history to hit those
Jeez.
levels over 10 World Series games, Lou Gehrig.
Jeez.
So Freddie Freeman doing what he does there. And some guy named
Jeez.
Ohtani today. Your prediction on Ohtani today, because this is what I'm most curious about.
Oh.
With his leg, the way tired he is,
Look,
all of that.
He's a warrior. I expect him to go 6 innings. Yeah. He'll strike out 9, give up a run.
I think the question is when you get to the bullpens tonight, how
Well,
bad is it going to
yeah,
for both teams? Because they're all gonna be bad.
They're going to want more out of Ohtani, but they realize that they have a certain schedule for him just because he's coming off of that. Yeah, so
you gotta ramp him up.
Yeah. They're not.
They're going to get
pitch
to the bullpen, Dodgers bullpen at some point.
Yeah,
It's just a matter
yeah.
of when.
Yeah.
So it'll be that's the prediction there. Who wins this series now that we know where we're at?
Well, Shane Bieber should be able to go, 7, 8 innings for the Blue Jays tonight. So I think the Blue Jays will win because I think Ohtani is going to be limited to 6 innings. That seems like to be the standard. And so 3 innings out of the Dodgers bullpen is going to, after throwing 18 last night, and I know they didn't throw the full 18, but you said they're taxed. The Blue Jays will win this game. They'll tie the series at 2, but I just like the Dodgers roster. I mean, they just have so many people who can beat you.
Well, not just that. What they got looming is you got Blake Snell coming up, probably Game 5, depending on how this rolls. But then Yamamoto in Game 6. You got those two guys looming, and they can go complete games.
Yes, they
can
can.
do all
Sure
that.
They could go
So-
complete games and go warm up last night in case they needed him.
Yeah,
in the
did you see
18th
that?
inning.
Yeah, I saw
He retired.
Yamamoto. I'm like, son of a gun.
He retired the last 20 in that game the other night.
95% of starting pitchers that pitched a full game the night before, they're back at home.
I think he's gone back-to-back complete games, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yes. And he retired the last 20 in that game the other night. So that's Toronto's problem. They need to win. I'm going to say almost like these next 2 because of what they have coming. And I know it's hard to look at it that way because they're thinking they can get to Yamamoto. I just don't know. He's the best pitcher
you're not
right
getting
now,
to Yamamoto.
So Blake Snell, you can.
And
but-
by the way, since we won't see Q the rest of the week, the Saints are going from one Arizona high school quarterback to
yeah,
another.
that's right.
Oh, they named Shuck the starter?
Yeah, they benched Rattler last game, and I'll give Spencer Rattler credit because he's got a lot of history of not being a team player. You know those stories. And he came out and he said, hey, my job is they benched me. My job is to get him prepared, work with him and stuff like that with Tyler Shuck. So I'll give him credit. He's saying the right things, at least publicly. So we'll see.
Well, the Saints are just a bad team.
Yes.
I
They're just a
don't
bad
think it
football
matters,
team.
right?
No.
But if you're trying to save your job and trying to get some hope into the organization,
Well,
you make the
you're
change to the
you're
younger
not getting
guy.
fired after 1 year.
No, but I'm saying, but you want to show that you're still trying, see what you got in Chuck as well coming up here. I think it's right about halfway through the season. Is
And
when that move's gonna happen.
the Saints they're on the road, right? Who they play?
I'll tell you in a second.
They play the Rams.
Oh, they're not going to win that game.
Oh, that's a tough start for. Yeah, good luck, buddy.
Well, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore.
No, but that defense still, they
No,
like to hit. That
they're
defense is
not
still
going to
good.
win. Look. It's New Orleans had no intention of playing either one of these rookies. They were supposed to be a backup, but unfortunately, they lost their veteran quarterback for forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he decided that no more. No more.
Yeah, that's the position they're in. Also, I'll just say this as we go. Kobe, throw up the college things here as we go off here, the picks here, the show picks for college. Just to make it professional, I said yesterday where we're at, but hey, Dale, what's wrong with that there?
Well, you switched the picks again. I told you I picked A&M.
Dale, I made the mistake when I put this out. I had him A&M, and I picked
You
A&M.
guys both took Vanderbilt over Missouri?
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir. It's Vandy.
I love Vandy's quarterback, man. Love him
Look
to
out
death.
for them. They're making the playoff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then throw up the NFL one. Dale, you usually do better than me in the NFL. At least you tried. At least you tried.
Jeez, Dale, that's a bad look, Dale.
How do the Cowboys give up 40 points?
When I picked the Broncos, I was like, I'm making a horrible mistake picking the Broncos. They're going to score like 9-10 points in this game. Cowboys going to score 40 something. It was the opposite. So I was like, I was shocked myself.
Jeez.
I can't believe you had faith in Aaron Rodgers on that Sunday night game.
Not hey, you want to pay back the Green Bay Packers?
He only hates he only has revenge and hate in his heart for his family, not for the teams he used to play for, Dale. From that side. So there we go.
I appreciate you getting that in. Let's get off the air.
See y'all tomorrow, everybody. McCollum on Business coming up at 11. Bruce next week. We'll know Monday night. We'll know Tuesday morning. We'll see Bruce coming in here after Kyler Murray supposedly starts and after Sam Levitt. Jordan Tyson probably out this week. Sam Levitt's trending that way. We'll see how they play. Also, come on back, folks. McCollum on Business at 11. Pit stop. We're at championship week out there in Phoenix Raceway. We'll have the pit stop, a look back show here this afternoon. Come and join us. We'll see you then, everybody.